Now it's time for today's guest. Taylor Phillips is this model and social media influencer who joins us today to discuss the Trevor Project, the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. The nonprofit is currently partnering with Abercrombie and Fitch for the Face Your Fears campaign, which highlights the stories of LGBTQ activists and ambassadors, like Taylor. Everyone, please give a warm Bill Bunch welcome to Taylor Phillips. Welcome.
Hi,
How
Taylor.
are you? Hey, welcome.
Taylor, nice to meet you. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Thanks
How
for
you
having
doing?
me. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Happy Friday. Happy Pride if you want cookie dough.
Yeah, the show is hilarious. I'm watching backstage.
Oh, good.
It's
Oh,
so funny.
Thank you.
So I will try this.
I know. I only had a bite because Pride's next week.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
not. Yeah, you're
My
telling me.
shirt's gonna be off.
Are
you
you
know that.
crying?
I'm putting
Yeah, right.
Oh my
It's
God,
been a
he's a
long.
really
It's
big
been a
man.
long day.
It's been a
We
really long
talked
day.
about taking his shirt off.
All right.
Well, going back to why we're here, for those who aren't familiar, can you tell us what the Trevor Project is and what it does?
Yeah. So the Trevor Project is a 24/7 suicide prevention hotline. So it's phone, text, chat. It's to really help LGBTQ kids that are in need of crisis prevention or on the verge of suicide or just need someone to talk to. So it's really somewhere for those kids to go to have someone to speak with, and it's available 24/7.
It's really cool. And at Abercrombie and Fitch, can you tell us about this partnership that they're doing with Trevor Project? But also, you have a kind of interesting story with Abercrombie, and I think people should know.
Yeah, so the Abercrombie and Fitch and Trevor Project, it's actually been a partnership for the past 9 years. They've raised over $600,000 over the past 9 years for the Trevor Project, which is super important. So it's not just one of these companies capitalizing on LGBTQ youth. It's really been a long-term partnership for both of them. But my story with Abercrombie, so I started working at Abercrombie when I was like 17. It was my first job at home back in Indiana. I grew up wanting to model because of Abercrombie, because I worked there. I saw the photos there. I was like this dream of this Indiana kid wanting to, model one day. And I got scouted at my local Abercrombie.
Wow.
Yeah,
And no, not yet.
He's into it.
No, not yet. Hold on. So I got scouted. It turned out to be like a total scam. It was like a fake thing. Yeah. But I had flown to New York at 17 by myself, my first time on a plane, away from my family, out of my home state of Indiana. And I came to New York, and it was like such a horrible experience. It was like the worst thing ever. Not to get into too many details, but it was just not. Yeah, it was just not. It was just not what I had hoped it would be. And being like a sheltered 17-year-old Midwestern kid, so I went to college instead. And then I got scouted my senior year of college by a legitimate agency. And then I started doing this, and I kind of had that feeling that my chance of shooting with Abercrombie was over because I was like 25, not 16 or 17, and
Wow, that's so sad. That's
Yeah,
25.
right.
Your dream's done. That's 25.
yeah, I'm like I have too much. I'm like I have too much facial hair, I have chest hair. I can't do this.
For modeling, is it just like, hey, you're hot?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So someone had scouted me via Instagram. So they reached out via Instagram, and then it was close to where I went to college. So I just went with a friend, drove down, met the agent, who I fingers crossed was real this time.
Right.
And did a shoot and got my photos submitted to my first agency in Chicago, where I got signed first, and then, yeah, it just kind of started from there. It was really crazy. But to be able to shoot this campaign now, and Abercrombie is definitely different than what it was when we were all younger, when it's like, the photos that used to be in the stores, and so to be able to shoot it now as an out gay man is super cool, and to be able to be included with these amazing people, some of them are very close friends of mine, has been just such a great experience. And working with the team at the Trevor Project and Abercrombie's team has just been such a great experience. It's really like one of those dreams. It's like a lifelong dream that you accomplish that I felt was not accomplishable anymore. Like I felt like it was just like I missed my prime, but then for it to happen is just
incredible.
Really cool. Yeah, and then for Pride, so
Perfect.
It's been really cool. Yeah.
Just for no, you didn't miss your prime.
Yeah, Brittany is in love
Thank you.
with you.
Yeah,
So
thank
clarify
you.
that.
Yeah, thanks
And
for,
this, they gave me this cool shirt,
Oh,
yeah, right?
that's so cool.
It's sold out, so sorry.
No, we can do
This
that.
is Abercrombie.
Wanna do
Yeah,
that for
so
10 minutes? Just do
yeah, they
that.
have I'm just doing this the whole time. Yeah, they released a whole Pride capsule, and it's actually really really cool stuff. And this has been a super popular.
Yeah.
So
shirt.
is it you do red, and then when you want to come out to something?
Yeah, I might do a little, whatever you're into.
Ooh, that's
so
fun.
I love
It's
that.
fun. I remember I wore it out the first night. They gave it to us before they were released, and I wore it out to out one night with friends, and I was like doing this, and people were like flabbergasted.
Right.
It's crazy.
magic.
So it's been a cool experience.
So you're part of the Face Your Fears campaign, which
Yeah.
encourages people to live fiercely.
Yeah.
You're one of the ambassadors. Who are some of the other ambassadors?
So Phil Picardi, who is the editor-in-chief of Out Magazine, Johnny Sibley, who is on Pose.
Pose.
Yeah, you have Kyle Krieger, who is another Instagram influencer. His sister is playing in the World Cup right now, Allie Krieger. Tyler Oakley, YouTuber. Amit Paley is the CEO of Trevor Project. A lot of great people.
So what does it mean to live fiercely, or how do you live fiercely?
Yeah, this was part of the campaign that we did. I just think like being a voice for people who are either scared or don't feel comfortable to do something that they would normally do. Like for example, Monday was the Trevor Project gala. So it was here in New York. Everyone kind of flew in for that, and I was wearing a black tux, which was the photo that you guys introduced me with, but I decided to paint my nails. So I did the rainbow on one hand and the trans flag on the other. And painting my nails is not something that I typically do or normally would do, but I just felt like doing that in case someone sees it that would want to do that, doesn't feel like they're able to do that. I just want to, be a voice to people that, anyone who doesn't feel like they can't do exactly what they want to do or anything they want to do because of some societal norm or something, I want to be like, a voice to those people. So just being someone, being empowering to other people is something that I think is fierce.
And you just mentioned the TrevorLive gala. Tell us how that was. That was Monday night.
Yeah, that was crazy. This has all been like such a whirlwind of dreams come true to be part of this campaign, but the Trevor Gala was really crazy in the fact that they had people come up that had benefited from, that's me, benefited from the Trevor Project. So kids that had called and, the Trevor Project had saved their lives, and they gave their testimonies of like that exact night that they were sitting on the edge of a parking structure and like how they just came down from, having someone to talk to. And I've just like felt so overwhelmed almost because like I think any LGBTQ youth has been in not that deep of a situation, but has felt alone or felt lost, and to have someone that you can call or text or just chat to get you out of that lonely place is like super important. And to like see people talk about that was really inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm so moved by even you just relaying that right now.
Yeah.
I just think that like that is such a profound part of at least my experience coming out and growing up, is like that aloneness that you feel and needing to feel supported. So I think that's such important work. And I'm curious what you would say to people, members of the LGBTQ community and their allies, how to further the goals of the Trevor Project.
Yeah, I mean, donating is the biggest thing that keeps it alive. It keeps people working. It keeps people, people there on the other end of the phone or the other end of the chat. But also just, the Trevor Project is super important, but also be that friend for another person so maybe they don't need to call the Trevor Project. Maybe they don't need to resort to that last thing. So be there for your friends. Keep an eye out on people who are seeming down or like a little out of it, and like, don't pressure them to open up to you, but just like let them know that you're there, so that they don't have to resort to something like this. But in the case that they do, support it and help keep the Trevor Project alive, because they're doing amazing work. Yeah.
I really loved hearing what inspired you to be a model when you were younger, and how you thought it wasn't going to happen,
Yeah.
and you got rediscovered. So what do you think about your profile on Instagram reached out to that person? Like, what were you putting out there that was maybe still subtly, you still had that dream?
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I was just in college. I was just doing basic college things at football games and going to parties and formals and stuff like that. And when at the time my mother agent reached out, I was in a different place mentally, and I've grown up a little bit from being that 17-year-old sheltered kid. I was at school 6 hours away with people that I'd never met before, people from different walks of life. I really had grown up. So when it happened, I was just like, let's see what happens. I got nothing to lose at this point. So I did it, and it was just it all came back this is something that I've always wanted to pursue. Let's not give up on it, because I did kind of give up on it those years of college. I was just like, this is something that probably isn't going to happen, but then it happened. So it's been pretty exciting.
And you made a coming out video for YouTube.
Yeah, I did.
So what inspired you to share your story and what? I know, are you blushing?
Yeah, these are
Look at you, you're
crazy.
acting all shy.
Yeah, no.
You posted it.
Yeah, I know. I did. Yeah.
We didn't take these.
Yeah.
Underneath your bed.
Yeah, the Madonna wedding photos.
On Instagram.com.
Yeah. So the coming out video, yeah, that was a pretty crazy thing too. So I shot that, and I didn't really know what I was going to talk about, and in the video, I literally start by saying I have no idea where this is going to end up. I have no idea where this is going to go, and I really had to put myself back to 3 or 4 years ago and think about what I was feeling then, because I really sadly have blocked a lot of that time off because my coming out wasn't necessarily the best. So I really blocked out that time. I actually went through my old hard drive and looked through text messages and photos just to really insert myself into that time of my life to get ready to talk about it. And I shot it, and I didn't plan on getting emotional, and I talked a little bit about my mom, about how she took the coming out. And I got a little emotional in the video, and I was gonna edit it out and reshoot it, and I shot it again, and I didn't cry that time, but I kept the part in just because it's such a raw story to tell anyway. I don't want anyone to think that oh, he's got it all figured out. It's easy. His coming out was easy. Not that I needed to cry to have people understand that, but everyone's struggle is different. No one looks. Not everything is as it seems. And but the comments on that video were if I'm ever feeling down or I feel like I'm I don't want to make another video today. I don't feel like this is worth it. This is kind of pointless. Why do I do this? I read that stuff, and it's just crazy the kind of impact you can have on certain people with certain topics. And I felt very liberated sharing that story with people.
I love your YouTube videos are great. That's one of the reasons when I started reaching out to you, I think they're fantastic. The one you've done with your boyfriend, I think it's important for representation. It's helped me, that one. That one was really, I love that one. But also they're very fun. You do a lot of fun things too on it. So it's not just serious matters, but you're willing to kind of look silly and do funny stuff.
Yeah, I think, speaking on the boyfriend side, I think that's something that, and I talk about this in my coming out, growing up, there wasn't that representation of happy same-sex couples or anything like that. And so I do like to keep some of my life private because a lot of it is on the internet. But I think sharing this amazing relationship that I'm in with my amazing boyfriend is super important just because, Jeff.
Shout out.
So I think it's important just because people can look up to you and see that this is possible. And the video that we made was our first Christmas together, and we celebrated with his family. And to see, I never imagined I would see a happy gay couple celebrating Christmas with their family from New Jersey. That doesn't, in my mind growing up, I never thought that was possible. So to be able to, one, have that as my real life is great, but to be able to share that with other people who feel like I used to feel like it wasn't possible is,
Special.
yeah, really special, yeah.
Well, since we have you here and we've established you are a model and a homosexual, we thought it would help. Hey, well, me too. It would help that since Pride is next week, the March is next week, we'll be taking a lot of Instagram pictures.
Okay.
We were wondering if you could help coach us with our pictures that we probably will be taking
props.
next week. Yes, we all have props.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go one at a time, and we're each gonna do our best pose to you. We've done this with I'll take that.
Oh, are you at this?
With Cynthia Bailey, who she was a model too.
Right.
So you're in good. We get coached by only the best.
Okay.
So Brittany, you're gonna go first.
This is for Instagram?
Instagram, yeah.
Okay, I gotta.
You're gonna pose.
Oh yeah. I feel. Oh, I don't even think I need to do anything. I think you got it.
Yeah, she killed it.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, she's really. You gotta live up to that.
Okay.
That was good. I mean, I really.
I dig that.
I don't even.
I'm sorry.
You just can't, it's just natural.
Oh. Yeah. Maybe
Do it for the gram. Do it for the gram.
You have
Are you trying to make me deep throat?
I'm just saying. You saw the icon
God.
with in the ER.
Yeah, I was just trying to be like, ooh, flirty, taste the rainbow, and you're like, suck it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Hey, you want likes?
Oh my God.
Guys, I don't think anyone needs.
No, she's going dark.
Yeah, this
with
is
that.
Allie
I'll
said.
die for my people.
I love that.
Said,
Thank
this
you,
is it.
Shannon.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
So I'm just like a bashful.
I feel like that could be like a boomerang,
Oh yeah.
or in the front.
It's like,
yeah.
Oh my
You're
God.
an influencer.
Oh wait, do that again. That's a really good GIF. and then up.
I think it's surprise.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah.
Happy
That's gonna be
Pride,
amazing.
everyone.
Good. Come
That
on,
was
PAs.
it.
It was
You're
good?
good.
So you think we'll be...
What are we doing?
Yeah, you just
I don't know.
you have
You wanna try it?
a little fuzz.
Oh,
Yeah, do you want...
Oh,
Do you want
that's sweet.
Oh, you're not gonna make her suck the umbrella.
Wait, this is like
I know.
super fun.
yeah,
Can
put
I
us to shame,
keep
Taylor. Do a
this?
pose.
Yeah, this is like I would have done like something. Oh.
Oh, that's okay. Do it again.
Yeah, let's see.
just
So like
have a
a
real-
little
Okay.
spin and then
Yeah.
like a little, like this.
That's why you're a
That's
professional.
why you're
Shut
the
up.
pro.
Taylor, thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
You can learn more about the Trevor Project by visiting thetrevorproject.org. That's all from us. We'll see you on Monday, same time, same table. Goodbye, everyone.